establishment.
Before we get into that, I want to go back to the negativity in the campaign, because, Brad, just this week, the Sanders team accused the Clinton campaign of violating campaign finance laws. Actually, the camp wrote a letter to the DNC that reads in part, "It is of grave concern that the Clinton Joint Fundraising Committee appears to be using funds raised by big-dollar donors to fund activities that yield contributions and support that only provide benefit only to Hillary for America." First of all, your thoughts on that and whether that's right or wrong.
Well, first of all, it's wrong. I mean, it has been every neutral analyst, every legal analyst that does election law has said that it's absolutely wrong. And let's remember, Senator Sanders signed the same agreement. He signed a joint fundraising agreement that he would do the same type of fundraising with the DNC. Senator Sanders decided was he doesn't care about supporting state parties or down ballot races. He only cares about his presidential campaign, and that is his right. Now, Carol, it is true that this New York primary, let me finish. This New York primary.
Well, if you're saying something false, I have to respond.
Hold on, no.
I'm just lie.
I just want to concentrate on whether Hillary Clinton is doing anything illegal, and Breonna Keeler looked into this. I just talked to her about it. It might appear unsavory to some, but it's completely legal.
It is completely legal, Carol.
And Senator Sanders signed. And correct the record is, by the way, your organization is funneling money back into the campaign.
Wait, let Brad finish, and then we'll get to you, Mickey.
Senator Sanders signed the same agreement. He just decided that it's not important to him to support state parties, and that's unfortunate.
Well,
he hasn't done anything
besides that, Brad, and
for state parties.
No, Mickey, I want to bring this up because this is what has some Democratic leaders concerned, that if Bernie Sanders puts this stuff out there and Donald Trump has this nickname for Hillary Clinton, Crooked Hillary, that plays into his narrative, and that will ultimately hurt the Democrats in the long run in a general election. So is it time that Sanders dialed down things?
Well, when they're going out of the way to circumnavigate the rules, you know, and yes, they both. Well, it is. Let me explain why. Let me explain.
Legal.
Well, it is legal, but what you're not checking is how they're funneling the money. So Hillary Victory Fund is buying ads on Facebook trying to target donations that go back into the Hillary for America Fund. Brad, you're part of Correct the Record. Correct the Record receives money from a super PAC. Correct the Record then gives money to the DNC. The DNC then gives money to the general fund. We know how this works. It's called a flow of money, and you have the best lawyers in the world. By the way, your lawyer, Hillary for America's lawyers, are the same lawyers for the DNC. That should be shady in itself. You know, there's a lot of proof here that, yes, it might be legal, but Hillary has the best lawyers. Now, aside from that, these decisions.
You know, we're trying to win an election, Mickey. We're trying to beat the Republicans. And
you know what? It's not the cool kids table. This is a competitive primary. This is a competitive primary. Hang on a second, Brad. You know, all you have to do on the Hillary side is reach the 2383 number. That's what you have to do. And right now, at this pace, with the margins, the difference in the margins of pledged delegates, Hillary Clinton, at this rate, will not reach that 2383 pledge victory.
That is blatantly untrue. I mean, that is blatantly. Carol, can I get in
she won by a larger margin in 2008.
Please let Brad respond, because what I want to concentrate on, you know, it's going to be a steep hill for Bernie to climb up to win this nomination and win the number of delegates he needs, right? Okay. So they're trying to convince super delegates and all this stuff. Some Democrats say it's time to ratchet things down and maybe start, you know, continue to talk about issues, but stop the attacks on one another, because it won't help in a general election.
Well, Carol, let's talk about that. I mean, Senator Sanders went into the New York primary saying that Hillary Clinton was unqualified to be president. That was a disastrous charge that backfired on him. He ended the primary saying that she was engaging in some type of illegal fundraising activity that is blatantly untrue. That backfired. That absolutely backfired on him.
Brad, you're part of the messaging machine. Write the message. You know who created the unqualified.
Carol, can I finish?
Just let Brad finish for a second.
And going forward, he can return to what he pledged to do at the beginning of this campaign and have a positive issue-focused campaign that contrasts with Republicans, which is what Hillary is doing, or he can continue the innuendo, the character attacks, and feed the Karl Rove type attacks that will be coming at Hillary in the
That is the language that Democrats don't like.
No, Mickey,
that's
final
what
word for you.
us.
Go ahead.
That is the language. When you start acting like the Democratic Party establishment is the cool kids table, and you ignore the fact that 80% of the Democrats who've been voting in this election under the age of 50 are supporting the Bernie Sanders movement, the movement of movements, all the different collections of movements. Democrats need to bring them in, but the party is playing politics right now is dirty. It might be legal, but it is dirty. And
There's nothing dirty about it. It is how you win elections.
You have every single lawyer.
The DNC
and Hillary Clinton sharing a lawyer, you don't think that's dirty?
You want to put the ideals.
I must end it there because you guys could argue until, like, next Tuesday. But we get it. Thank you both so much. Brad Woodhouse, Nomiki Konst. Whew,